Hello everyone. Children, in the previous session we have started our chapter pollination and fertilization. And you have seen that what is pollination, that is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is known as pollination. Then we have seen the different types of pollination, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination is that when the pollen grains from anther of flower are transferred to stigma of same flower or flowers that is born on the same plant, that is self-pollination or autogamy. Then you have seen the different adaptations of to achieve that self-pollination, that is bisexuality, means both the stamens and carpels are present on the same flower. Then monoecious plants, the flowers are unisexual, both male and this female flowers should be present on the same flower. Then different adaptations you have seen about homogamy, cleistogamy, bird pollination, children. Then you have seen about the advantages of self-pollination and disadvantages of self-pollination in the previous session. Today in this session, this is the B part of pollination and fertilization. And today we are going to study about this cross pollination. When the pollen grains from the anther of one flower are transferred on the stigmas of the flowers born on different plants belonging to same species, it is called cross pollination or allogamy or xenogamy. Now, cross pollination means when pollen grains from anther of one flower are transferred on the stigma of the flowers that is born on different plants but they are of the same species. From one flower, the pollen grains are transferred to another flower that is born on different plant but of the same species, that is known as cross pollination or allogamy, or it is also known as xenogamy. Cross pollinations mostly occur in dioecious plants having unisexual flowers. Dioecious plants means the plants bearing either the male or the female flowers, that is known as dioecious plants. Either the plant will have the male flowers only or they will have only the female flowers. That means male and female flowers are born on different plants having unisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers means either the flower is having only the male part or the androecium, or this female part that is only the gynoecium or the carpel, that is they are known as the unisexual flowers. But a large number of examples are available where, in spite of bisexuality, plants prefer cross pollination over self pollination. But, children, there are many other examples where the flowers are bisexual, the plants are bisexual. That means the this male and female flowers are this male and female part are born on the same flower, then the plants prefer cross pollination over self pollination. Then also the plants like to have cross pollination than self pollination. How nature favors cross pollination? See how this nature is favoring cross pollination. Nature always favors cross pollination because it helps in the formation of new and better new combination of characters. Why this nature favors, or how this nature favors cross pollination? It favors because it helps in the formation of new and better combination of characters, so that different characters, new and better characters can be mixed together to form a new character or a better character. For the purpose of cross pollination, following adaptations are found in the plants. As you have seen in self pollination also, that there are different adaptations in the which are found in the plants which favors the self pollination. Here also, children, for this cross pollination, some adaptations are seen in the plants. Now we will study these adaptations. Unisexuality. The plants bear either the male or the female flowers. That is, the plants are dioecious, example palm, mulberry, and papaya. Unisexuality means either the plant will have male flowers or it will have the female flowers. That is, the plants are dioecious. Example palm, mulberry, and papaya. So, in unisexual plants, what happen? Either the male flower is present or the female flower is present on the plant. And the examples of these are mulberry and papaya. Another adaptation is dichogamy. If the flowers are bisexual, the male and female organs mature at different times. Dichogamy, see, bisexual flowers, I told you that in bisexuality, if flowers are bisexual, then also cross pollination takes place in that. So, children, what happens in this? In the bisexual flowers, what happens? This male and female organs mature at different times. There are different timings of maturation of androecium and gynoecium, that is stamens and carpels. They mature at different times. So it favors cross pollination. So children, now according to this maturation timings of androecium and gynoecium, there are different terms and the flowers may be protandrous. Now, according to the maturation of androecium and gynoecium, the flowers have different terms. They are called by different names. Protandrous. When the anthers mature earlier than stigma. Flowers are bisexual. Male and female parts are present on the same flower. And here the anther mature earlier than stigma. Here what happens, they are not maturing simultaneously, but they are maturing at the different times. So the flowers in which anther matures earlier than stigma, the flower is said to be protandrous, and this phenomenon is termed as protandry. So in flowers, when the stamen matures or the anther matures earlier than the stigma, then it is called as protandrous flower, and the phenomena is known as protandry. Example is salvia, sweet pea, sunflower, etc. Now protogynous. In protogynous, what happens? See, the flower is said to be protogynous if the stigma matures earlier than the anther. In protandrous, the anther is maturing earlier than stigma. But in protogynous, the stigma matures earlier than the anthers. And this phenomenon is called as protogyny. Example is magnolia, custard apple, people, etc. So these are the example of protogynous. So in dichogamy, there are different timings of maturation of androecium and of male and female organs. In protandrous, anther matures earlier than stigma, and in protogynous, the stigma matures earlier than the anther, and this phenomena is known as protogyny. Now, self-sterility. This is another adaptation. In this condition, the pollens from the anthers of a flower fail to germinate on the stigma of the flowers born on the same plant. Now, see here, in self-sterility, what happens? In this condition, the pollen from the anthers of a flower fail to germinate. What all anthers or so this have deposited on the stigma, they fail to germinate on the stigma of the flower born on the same plant. They fail to germinate, and it happens because of genetic incompatibility. Now, see here, this anthers have deposited on the stigma due to cross pollination. They have reached the stigma, but here on the stigma they fails to germinate, and that condition is known as self sterility. Now, why they fail to germinate? It happens because of genetic incompatibility. What is genetic incompatibility? In this condition, children, the condition of two things being so different in nature as to be incapable of coexisting. That means they are too different from each other, because, and in nature that they are incapable of coexisting, so they fail to germinate. And this condition is known as self sterility. Example is Nicotiana, potato, and orchids. Hercogamy. Hercogamy, herco means a fence or a barrier. That means on the flowers there may be some barriers or some hindrances there, and such condition is known as hercogamy. The flower poses certain structural barriers. That means the flower is having certain structural barriers. Certain structures are there that are that uh, hinders, or they prove to be the barriers for these flowers. It does not allow self pollination, though the flower is bisexual and both the anther and stigma mature simultaneously. Now, see here, flowers are bisexual, it does not allow self pollination. And see the conditions. Flowers are bisexual, stamens and anther and stigma, they are maturing at the same time. That is, simultaneously they are maturing at the same time. But there is a hindrance or a barrier which does not allow self pollination, and such a condition is known as hercogamy. That means cross pollination is preferable here. In example, in pansy and iris, a hood covers the stigma. So in these flowers, that is pansy and iris, a hood is covering the stigma. So this condition is known as hercogamy. Heterostyly, another, this is adaptation. In this condition, the flower has a style and anthers at different heights. Now see here. In this condition, the flower has style and anther at different heights. Both the style and anthers, the flowers are bisexual. Flowers are bisexual. Anthers and stigma, they are, anthers and style, they are at different heights. Either the style is very long or the anthers are at more height, so that it discourages self pollination. See, either the style is very long or the anthers are present at a greater height, so that it does not prefer self pollination. And the examples are primrose, oxalis, and linum. These are the examples of heterostyly. Here, these anthers and the style, they are present at different height, so the plants does not favor self pollination, but it favors the cross pollination. So these are the different adaptations we have seen of the cross pollination. Now I will revise it once again. Cross pollination is transfer of this anther of one flower are transferred to on the stigma of another flower, which is born on different plant but of the same species. Now, for cross pollinations, the plants have certain adaptations, that is unisexuality. Either the male or female flowers are born on the or either the male flower is present or the female flower is present on one plant. Then dichogamy, here the flowers are bisexual, but the male and female organs, they mature at their different times, and according to that their flowers may be protandrous. Here the anther mature earlier than the stigma, and in protogynous the stigma matures earlier than the anther. Then another one is self-sterility. Here the pollen has reached the stigma, but they fail to germinate. Such a condition is known as self-sterility. In hercogamy, these there are some barriers or hindrance which does not allow self-pollination. So that in some flowers, some, that is pansy and iris, a hood is covers the stigma. Heterostyly, here the style and the anthers are present at different heights, and such a condition is known as heterostyle. So children, learn all these definitions and with examples are also very important, and sometimes the examples are given, you have to write down the conditions or adaptations. So children, learn all this, and then in the next session we will study about the agents of cross pollination. Thank you.